Hello and welcome to Man Cave Media. On this channel I talk about beer, sneakers, tech, and toys. If you're new here, please feel free to hit that subscribe button and hit that notification bell. Also, please connect with me on social media. I'm on Instagram at media.mancave and on Facebook and Twitter at mancavemedia.org. And finally, if you enjoy listening to podcasts, please check out the League of Sedentary Gentlemen. We're available wherever you get your podcast or direct from our website at man-cave-media.org. All right, I got a new GPU for my office PC. Let's check it out. All right, a little bit of backstory here. I recently rescued a old Mac Pro, I believe it's a 10.5 model, from the scrap pile at work. One of my coworkers brought it to dispose of it, and I hate to see those things die because they're still, they got some love left to give. They're still somewhat useful, and if you just put a little bit of time into it, and sometimes you got to spend a little bit of money. In my case, I won't have to, but if you just put a little time and a little effort and invest just a little bit of money sometimes when needed, they are still really good computers. And so I decided to take on that project. I don't really have a need for it. Like I said, I hate to see them die. And once I get it done, I'll find a home for it. But anyways, long story short, I don't want to go on too long about this. I plan to use the RX 580 that's currently in my office PC in that project. So that means I needed a new GPU. Like I need an excuse to buy something, right? So anyways, the GPU that I decided to go with is the RX 6750. And the card that I chose is the PowerColor Red Devil. And I bought it from the Red Devil. I bought it from the PowerColor store on Amazon, and they decided to put the shipping label on the retail box on the outside. I'm a little bit upset about that. And they set it on my porch, just, naked and afraid, man. No outer box or anything, which also sketched me out a little bit. Where I live, it's, not really prone to porch pirates, but that doesn't mean it's impossible. And I was a little annoyed by that. But anyways, I was looking at the 6700 for the longest time, then the 6750 came out, and it's just a small boost in performance. It's not really anything to write home about, but what I did notice was they upgraded the memory on it just a little bit, not quantity but speed, and they also beefed up the power delivery. And so I usually only upgrade my PC, my office PC that is, probably once every 4 years or so. So I didn't want any regrets, 2 or 3 years down the line. I wanted to go with what just released. So decided to grab the 6750. I paid $579 for it, which isn't not too bad. The AMD reference card is the AMD reference card is $549, so $579 for the PowerColor variant. Like I said, I didn't feel like that was too bad, so I went ahead and went with that. So let's go ahead and get this beast out of the box. Looking at pictures, I mean, this girl thick with like 3 C's. Oh man, this box is stuck. Go. Get that out of the way. All right. So up first, let's see what this is. It's got the devil logo. It's a card with the devil logo, and it's a giveaway. So once you install the card in your rig, if you take a picture of it, post it on Instagram, and tag them, you can win prizes. That's pretty cool. We also have You Are One of Us Now. That's pretty cool. Oh, it's a devilclub.powercolor.com. Join us. And it has an invitation code. So I guess it's to join a club on their website, and it has a code here so you can register your product. It's pretty cool. And lastly, a Red Devil sticker for your case, if that's something you like to do, which I do. Alright, next up we have the RGB cable, and it can be daisy chained. Oh, some 3-piece foam action. And finally, my goodness, look at this thing. It's huge. Oh my goodness. The graphics card itself. Oh man, that is a big one. Let's get this box out of the way here. All right, so here's the card in all its glory, and yeah, I mean it's pretty substantial. This is my first Power Color product. I know they get really good reviews for the AMD graphics cards. Just looking at it really quick straight away, it looks like there is RGB on the top here, inside the fins. And then on the back, it's got these two massive clear things that look like they are RGB. And on the other side, on the back plate, the Devil logo, sorry I have it upside down here. The Devil logo also looks to be RGB. So that is pretty cool. So the back plate is metal, and then the fan shroud is plastic, but it has this metal surround going around. That's kind of like it's almost like a space gray. Apple fanboys, you know what I'm talking about? It's a dark, like charcoal silver, almost like a space gray. Dark charcoal gray. I said silver. God. Dark charcoal gray. Nice looking card. Plastic fan bezel. It has dual BIOS. So the dual BIOS settings, where is it? I saw the switch when I was taking it out of the bag. There it is. So for the dual BIOS settings, you have overclock and silent. So I'll probably just leave it on overclock. This does have what's it called? The quiet fan, or the silent feature, where it shuts the fans down when they're not needed. So it has two 100 millimeter fans and one 90 millimeter fan. The one in the middle is the smaller one, and it has is that right? 12 heat pipes. I'm reading the specs on the website, and it said 6 by 6. Yeah. Oh, what they mean by that is it traverses, like each side has 6 heat pipes. I see it now. Okay. So the fans have 2 ball bearings for longevity. Says they can last up to 4 times longer than a standard fan. Let's see. Mute fan technology. That's what I was trying to think of. This has mute fan technology where it will drop all the way to 0 dB when it's not needed. When the fans are not needed, it can shut them down. So anything below 60 C temperature-wise, the fans will shut off. So that's pretty cool. No pun intended. So it says it's a new cooler design, and it increases airflow up to 60%. But like I said, this is my first Power Color product, so I'm not familiar with the previous design. Vertical aluminum fin design, copper base, direct touch. So platinum power kit with a digital controller and polymer capacitors for improved reliability. Now I don't know what the 6700 XT variant of this card had, but I noticed in the feature set that when they were comparing this card to the 6700, it said it had a beefier power delivery. So that's part of what influenced my decision. So, but I'm not sure what the 6700 had in comparison to this. But a 10 plus 2-phase VRM for better overclocking and stability, and better thermal protection, and superior power efficiency. So the RGB software is called Devil Zone. After I get this installed, I'll go over that software really quick and kind of compare it to the other RGB software that I have experience with. But it looks pretty good on their website, but I mean, you know, you never know until you get in there and start working with it. Reinforced backplate. I did buy. I'll unbox that too really quick. I bought a support bracket because, I mean, look at this thing, dude. It's massive. So I was afraid that it was gonna have some sag. So I went ahead and bought a support bracket. Never really had that issue with my 580 that I have now, or previous GPUs for that matter. But the 580 I have installed right now compared to this thing, I mean, oof, it's night and day. That 580 is about half this card. So just to be safe, I bought a support. Let's see, output LEDs. That is cool. So this thing has LEDs on the output. So the display ports and the single HDMI have little LEDs in there so you can see what you're doing. That's pretty cool. I usually don't move cables around in the dark, but I mean, if I ever had to, that's a pretty nice feature. Anything else worth noting here? Nope, that's pretty much it, other than the obvious stuff. Is 12 gigabytes of GDDR6. The memory clock, that's the other thing that influenced my decision. So it's up to 18 gigabits per second. So I believe the 6700 was 12 or 15, something like that. They bumped it up a little bit. I don't remember what the 6700 was, but they bumped it up. This does use PCI 4 by 16, and I mentioned this already, but it has one HDMI, 2.1, and then 3 DisplayPort 1.4 for your output. So maximum resolution that it will support is 7680 by 4320. That's pretty good. It says minimum power requirement 700 watts. I believe I have a 700 watt power supply. I'll have to double check that when I install this thing. It might be a 600. I think it will still run on a 600. That's just their... No, it's not a recommendation. That's minimum. Eesh, I might be doing a power supply update with this thing. I don't remember if I have a 600 or a 700. I think it's 700 though. I think I'm good. And then it takes 2 8-pin PCI Express power connectors. So let's scoot this guy to the side really quick. Before I get it installed, I'll unbox. I bought this was on sale on Amazon around the same time I bought the card. It is a Cooler Master RGB support bracket, because you can never have enough RGB, right? For somebody who doesn't care that much about RGB, I sure do have a lot of it in my system. Alright, so first up, ooh, focus. First up, we have the user manual. And what is that? It's a dust cloth. Cooler Master dust cloth. That's cool. No pun intended. Here is the base itself, and there is the ARGB cable. That's pretty cool. This is pretty thick in its own right. And then here are the 2 support brackets. Assembly required. Let's make sure that's all of it. Yep, that is all. So this whole plate, this clear plate, lights up RGB, which is pretty cool. Like I said, I don't really care that much about RGB. It just so happens that when I'm shopping for things, the stuff that's on sale tends to have RGB. So for somebody that doesn't really care about it too much, I sure do have a lot of it in my system. But again, it's not necessarily on purpose. It's just I like to go for the good deals when I see them. And if it has RGB, then it has RGB. I don't actively avoid things that have RGB because I don't, like I said, I don't really, I'm indifferent about it. I don't care either way. So these supports, there's a lever on the outside that you kind of pop out. You pop that lever out and then it slides right down. So you can orient this in two different ways, it looks like. So you can have it sitting this way. Let's take that off. You can have it sitting this way, supporting the GPU like so. Or you can put the other one on. There's only one way that this goes on. You can put this one on and have it sitting this way with the support for the GPU right here. So I guess it depends on preference. I'll probably have it sitting this way for clearance reasons, because if I have it sitting this way, it might be a little bit too close to my fans. So I'll probably have it in this orientation, but cross that bridge when I come to it. I'm gonna go ahead and leave this one in there because this is probably the one I'm gonna use. But all right, so I don't have time to install it at this moment, so you guys are gonna do a little bit of time traveling. When I come back, when I'm actually installing this, it will be the next day, so enjoy your journey. Alright, so unfortunately after checking, I do only have a 650 watt power supply, so I'm gonna go ahead and move forward with installing this, but I'm not sure how this is gonna go. I guess we'll find out. But needless to say, I might be doing a power supply upgrade as well. Alright, here's a look at my my little RX 580. Thing has served me well. It will continue to serve me in another project. And the Chunkus. Well, that's your big boy. My goodness. I'm still pretty overall impressed by the size of this thing. I mean, my goodness gracious, look at this. I mean, especially compared to my little tiny RX 580, this thing is just a beast. Let's get it secured.
Got the power connectors, and then the all-important RGB header, and then I think we will be good to go, barring any issues with my Honey I Shrunk the power supply. Guess we'll find out in a moment. Up until today, these poor cables have been unused, so they're quite stiff. Alright, the all-important RGB, as soon as I remember what I did with it. So I do have an available RGB fan header on my motherboard, so that won't be an issue. And I'm going to daisy chain the GPU support bracket. Off of this, so let's go ahead and take the cap off of that guy. Just leave that hang out for a moment while I get this plugged into the RGB header. Yeah, I probably should have done that before I put the card in. Thing takes up a lot of space. All right, something funny, when I plugged in the GPU support, the LEDs just turned on with the PC being off. So comment down below if I'm just an idiot and that's what's supposed to happen, but I was a little bit surprised by that. But anyhow, all right, first fire, let's go. See if she boots or if I'm buying a power supply. Ooh, all the RGBs on the GPU lit up. That's a good sign. There's all of my my RGB fans that look like somebody just stabbed a unicorn. And alright, hey, BioScreen. Nice. Alright. So my little 650 watt power supply is just gonna keep on chugging along. For now anyways. So yep, alright, we're into Windows. So alright, let's get a close up of this beauty in all her glory. Alright, I apologize for my shaky hand. This is too small of a space to get my stabilizer in here. But anyways, alright. Alright, got all the drivers loaded. Got the RGB the color that I want to match my case. Got my Xenomorph Guardian back in place. Everything is good. Temps at idle. Right around the same that the 580 was. This is just at idle. 0% load. The fans are not running. It's got that 0 dB when it's under a certain temperature, so that's always good. And there you see drivers are all loaded. It's running properly. Alright, so I'm going to put it under a little bit of a load here. I'm just going to render a short video. This is not going to be like a proper benchmarking video. There are plenty of those out here on YouTube. I'll put some links down in the description if you want like a proper benchmark. There's plenty of those around. This is just like real world stuff that I'm going to be using this, you know, what I use my Office PC for to begin with. So let's do some rendering. So that didn't really, I mean, the GPU did start working a little bit. temp did climb up to about 41 degrees, but it's not really it's not really even beginning to flex with rendering and exporting a 1080p video from Premiere. I shoot my videos for YouTube in 1080p, not 4K, so yeah, this guy's not even really I think we'll just move on to the test of one of the games that I like to play. Alright, so just the title screen did actually get a response from the GPU. Still only up to 45 degrees on the temp, so the fans are still not enabled. Let's load my last game here. Forgive me, I'm kind of playing this with one hand. I gotta hold my camera. And we are still only up to 46 degrees on the temps, 59% load. So this game is child's play. As far as like AAA titles go, I'm mostly a console gamer. I do own Cyberpunk on PC, but I have it on Stadia, so I can't use it for purposes this. So I can't use it for the purpose of this test, but this is probably the newest game that I actually own in Steam. So unfortunately, this is all I can show you. But I mean, like I said, I'll post some links to some benchmarking videos so that you guys can see. I mean, this thing hasn't gone above 50% since I launched the game, so it's definitely overkill for me. Doesn't mean I don't like it. It doesn't mean I regret buying it. I was due for a GPU refresh, and yeah, I'm still happy that I got this guy.
Alright, so there you go. One successfully installed Red Devil RX 6750. I mean, the card is great, it looks great, performs well for my tasks. As you saw there in the what I call benchmarking, it's not really anything too intense, but it's more than it's going to meet my needs very easily. It's very, you could say, overkill for my setup, but I mean, that's what I use my PC for pretty much on a daily. So this thing's gonna have a nice easy life, at least for now. As I mentioned when I was installing it, the RX 580 is going to be used in another build. I'm going to revive an old Mac Pro. I know there's a lot of videos out there of guys that did the same thing, but there hasn't been one for a while, and so maybe that category is due for a refresh. But stay tuned for that. I'm gonna get started on that project as soon as I have some free time, now that I have the GPU. And so I'll go through a step-by-step process on how to revive an old, I believe it's a 10.5 model cheese grater Mac Pro. So stay tuned for that one. Other than that, I mean, yeah, I'm happy with the card. I'm really glad I bought it. One quick thing before I end this one, I did mention this before, I believe, but I'm not exactly sure, but I paid $5.79 for this guy on Amazon directly from PowerColor. It was PowerColor's Amazon retail store, and that's about the going rate for the 57. So that's about the going rate for the 6750 non-reference. You can get the AMD reference version for $549, but that's only a 2-fan cooler. And I know a couple of tech tubers like Gamers Nexus had some bad things to say about the factory design of AMD's cooler. So But if you're not concerned with that and you just want a 6750 for retail, last I checked, I'll leave a link in the description of this video. There were some in stock on AMD's website. So if you want it just for retail, you can grab it right now. For this card, like I said, I got it on Amazon. I also saw it on Newegg for the same price. The only reason why I used Amazon is because I had some points to use. So you can grab it on Newegg as well. Again, for $5.79, no funny business, direct from PowerColor. And yeah, excellent card. I highly recommend it. Okay, that's all I have for this one. Thank you again for stopping by. Please smash that like button and feed that algorithm. I hope you have a great afternoon, and like always, thank you for watching.